Welcome everyone to MacroCrest. So MacroCrest will be focusing our outlook on fundamentals because we are fundamentally driven, and then technicals for timing. Going straight to the chart, no wasting of time, is the first week of October. Although the last week of September thereabouts, when the US cut their interest rates, we had weakness on the dollar because they were looking at 25 bps cut priced in, but it shocked everyone that they gave in for a 50 bps, bringing the dollar to its knees at some point. And last week, first week of October, we had this CPI, and then we had this beautiful average hourly earnings for the dollar, which is showing beautiful strength. Unemployment rate, the NFP was good, but then I think we had the euro on Tuesday. They had this 1.8% for their CPI as expected, but it's actually going down. Previous we can say it was 2.2, so it means they will still be cutting rate, which makes it the euro weak. And this week we would be looking at last week, sorry, let's look at last week. We had data from the NZD, which was terrible. We had China. Now we know they are in these their stimulus packages. They are trying to use fiscal policies and all that to help the economy, but you can see their CPI data is terrible. So China is weak. Okay, then this on this. So last week we had data, some very important data that was okay. The year had 3.0% on average cash earnings, which is equivalent to average hourly earnings for the US. It's actually coming down, but it's still okay. It's not that inflationary. So you can look at yen weakness for the short term, and then we had this beautiful NZD news. So they reduced the interest rate from 5.25 to 4.75, a 50 bps cut. So we're actually looking at the weakness on the NZD, and then the dollar CPI came out very, very interesting. Unemployment rate claims is it's not a major data for me. I don't look at it as a major data. So the CPI came out positive, so the dollar is still on the good side. And then the card came out with a very good data last week, but overall it is bearish. Plus oil is since there's no much of an escalation in the Middle East, I think the oil should actually go down. So if going down, we all know CAD will also be participating in that. Then the spreadsheet is already showing that Aussie, we know Aussie is actually bullish. So Aussie is bullish. We have the NZD weakness, we have dollar strength, and then we have China strength. So the euro weakness, the pound strength. So those are the guys I'm looking at. But then since we already understand that we have the China weakness, we'll be looking at the dollar China. What we do have here is a low low. We have a lower high. So if there's a lower high, then this is a lower low. We can equally just know that we're expecting the price to hit point this supply area. So for this reason, you would probably look at the monthly if you want to, but if we want to do that, it is coming from this monthly demand area or thereabout. So the imbalance we have the imbalance, so the next price should be heading to this point. So we can look at that. So, yeah. So if price is coming here, we understand that this is going to be bullish leg on the daily time frame and the 4 hours. And price was the demand I expected price to go to last week, but unfortunately on my 4 hours, price came rejecting from this demand, which I would have classified it as a hold of. But then if you look at it from a lower time frame, we had this breakout structure. So finally, so this week already we are in this position. We are already on this. So we can see even if you want to take the position like right here, you could keep yourself here and go for your 1:what. Just look at it clearly. Where is the next target? Is this point? That's the first target. Then we have this other part, but I'll recommend you wait for 15 minutes entry. So probably this higher high, this higher low. Your entry criteria is that, so probably something like this. Yes. So okay, so you could have a good risk to but something like this. We should see something like this to be interesting. But the target is still very far up here. So that's our first last target rather. So we have the NZD weakness. So we'll be looking at NZD USD, which we are already on this position. So as we can see, we had first of all we mostly look at the monthly and the weekly. So if we assume this point as our liquidity graph, there is an imbalance here. So I'm expecting price to head there. So this is also if this was a break of structure or a liquidity grab from this end, then we would for sure know that if price is doing that, then we have this BOS here, and we say this is our higher high here. So we're expecting a higher low. So price should hit somewhere here. So we don't know when the dollar strength would lose its steam, probably during their interest rate meeting, FOMC meeting later this month. At it from the daily time frame, what we do have is that prices come from this daily supply. We had BOS, which was very clean, and if you look at it from your H4, that's a H4 structure. So definitely price is dropping. This is a first target, and look at the lower time frame, 3. So price would head over. This was a previous weekly 4 hours demand. So if you look at it from the weekly, what kind of candle we get, it's not too much of a clean candle. Yeah, it's not that. So I think you can look at it on the daily to identify probably should head here or this but small candle here that grab liquidity. That's for the end of the day, and then we have the pound and the which is very very beautiful. So we have this on the weekly and the daily. This is a lower low. Even if you look at it from a weekly, what we have is a higher high. So we have a cost structure here, and price did not entirely feel this candle. Yeah, so it's not that interesting. But going to the daily time, we had this breakout structure. We had this minor breakout structure. So this is actually the price we do have. Yeah, almost the opposite of the USD. So we have this demand, very beautiful demand. Then on the lower time frame, we had this sweep, this liquidity sweep. It's almost perfect. and then we had the BOS. We had the BOS pulling back. This is a very good entry. Where is our first target? This is our first target. First target. So that's for that. So that's how I were looking at. So that's our trade for the week. Then we have this euro weakness. So euro USD, I still think it's going to go down. Okay, looking at this, we can consider this point. You can consider this point as a higher high. You consider this higher low. So if this is a higher high, you're looking for a higher low, and this is a little break of structure. Lower, higher high, higher low, higher high. So this is our last structure point. So this is bullish leg going to the daily time frame. Looking at this as a liquidity because price did not react anywhere. So this guy has to be taken off this thing and probably head to the upside. It all depends on how the data comes for both. And Aussie is bullish, but only pair I'm looking at Aussie strength is this euro, but it's not too clean for me because this is liquidity. It's okay. So let's look at it from the weekly. We have this higher high, we have this higher low, we have this higher high. I'm expecting price to continue down because Aussie is definitely stronger than the euro. So this is a double bottom, so it's liquidity point for me. The only problem I have with this pair is that there is this imbalance somewhere here. This imbalance here, so I expect price to come to this area. So the only supply I do have is this point. So if that's my point of supply, yeah, okay. So if we look at it this way, we have this lower low, we have lower high. If this is the lower low, we're looking for a lower high. So price, yeah, I'm looking for confirmation to actually short. But here, I'll just take it down. So this is the daily, so we will be having the 4 hours and the 1 hour. So if we can see a 4 hour change, 1 hour change, it will be beautiful. So I'll consider this a little break. So this is like confirmation, but I'm expecting this guy, if it goes higher to the point, then we'll be looking for shots down. So that's it for the week. It's just a few pairs. The card is beautiful though, but I'm very careful as to how I'm following it up because of the data that came out last week. I think it was last week Friday. The beautiful employment data that came out for the card, yeah, Friday. So it was not it's not showing, it's not promising. So that's it for the week. Let's hope for a good week.